to get going. Gotta catch those runners taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Navigation trading on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's day trading live stream. Today is Tuesday, August 11th. S&P futures up 14, NASDAQ up 93, Russell's up 8, and the Dow is up 110. NASDAQ slightly the strongest, up about 1/3%. Gold's up almost 1%. Silver is down 1/4. Notes and bonds a little bit green. 10-year yield down 0.21%. Oil's down about 0.5%. Natural gas just slightly red. Soybeans, wheat, and corn all a little bit red. Euro and the pound pretty flat. Bitcoin up 1/4%, and the VIX is up about 0.5%, currently at 15.53. Biggest individual stock movers: Riot Blockchain up 21%. Nebius is up 3. Nvidia up 2. SMCI up 2. SNDK up 1, MU up 1, AMD up 1, so a lot of chips in the green. Crypto's a little flat to mixed. Biggest red: Airbnb, APP, Baba, Baidu. I don't think I have HIMS on my list. HIMS had earnings. It's down 6. Yeah, a little over 6%. I've got an earnings calendar on that, so need a little bit of a bounce. It's right on the break even, it looks like. Tesla up about 0.5%. So we've got CPI tomorrow, so I'm going to skip the 1 DTE Iron Condor. Sometimes you get some decay, sometimes you don't, so I'm just going to skip it. I'm not going to open any double calendars at the open. I held over my my 3-4 from yesterday, which is the August 13-14. I closed 5 of 12, so I'm holding 7 of those still. Yeah, about a 27-point expected move in SPX. It's the smallest we've seen in quite some time. Opening bell in 10 seconds. And we're off. Looks like that 7 lots of the double calendar, number 205 that I held over. Looks like those are up. That double calendar's up a little bit. S&P, NASDAQ dipping at the open. Russell pushing. Russell pushing above pre-market high, making its way back up to previous day high. Chips must be dropping because the NASDAQ is dropping. Yes, AMD into the red. SMH down, AVGO going down. SpaceX showing a little strength. Hope you guys got your SpaceX in the low hundreds. It's the last time you'll ever see it. Russell paused at previous day high, now just kind of bouncing between previous or pre-market high and previous day high. I'm just trying to make you rich, Dark Avenger. I mean, you can do what you want with my information. You can lead a horse to water, you just can't make him drink, is the saying. SNDK is pushing against some of the other chips. No news today. No scheduled news, I should say. Microsoft pushing through previous day low. Tesla right at previous day high. Google falling. Amazon opened around unchanged. It's now down over 1%. Meta right at unchanged. SpaceX reversing now. SpaceX heading towards pre-market lows. Tesla holding up well. NASDAQ almost down to previous day low, which is also pre-market low. PLTR was green, just back in the red. Now Tesla falling into the red. Russell dipped, but it's getting bought up. Yeah, SNDK is still holding up well. Intel holding up better than most. SMCI starting to bounce. SNDK looks like it wants to push. HIM's getting a little bounce. Let me see what my earnings calendar looks like. It's got a nice little profit, up about 40%. I'm going to put it in order to close half that. Big banks are all green by about 0.5 to 0.75%. Cryptos are kind of mixed. Circle's up 2%, MSTR a little bit green, coin a little bit red, Bitcoin is slightly green, HUD down 1.5%. SNDK just kind of chopping around previous day high. Shouldn't have Krish. Yeah, chips are still staying weak. AVGO, MU, AMD all coming down. SPX to unchanged. PLTR trying to get back in the green. Watson's taking a short on coin right at previous day low, it looks like. Big volume on those Tesla bars. The second one's bigger than the first. But now it's bouncing back up. Indices trying to bounce. Google's not bouncing. Chips trying to bounce. Russell back up to highs of day above previous day high now. Yeah, PLTR push back up.
Autofilled. Autofilled.
Yes, a coin popped up to pre-market lows. Previous day close. Big banks getting stronger. Some of the other cryptos trying to bounce. MU's bounce getting shut back down. PLTR rejecting again. Google, no bounce. Not a bounce in sight. Amazon new lows. Another leg down in some of the chips. You pick something. I don't care about your little impatience. Trading is about patience. S&P, NASDAQ at lows, Russell at highs. S&P into the red. Dow and Russell are still green. NASDAQ and S&P red. MU a little flush of previous day low and bouncing. Tesla trying to get back above previous day high. Swept the pre-market high, swept the pre-market low. Wouldn't doubt if the market can kind of stabilize here, I wouldn't doubt if Tesla kind of takes off. Apple still going through lows. S&P going through lows.
Order cancelled. Order filled. Order filled.
Yeah, Google still no bounce. I'm going to load some Tesla 1DTE 335 calls on my watch list. Watching Tesla at this previous day high. I'm also going to load some IWM calls, 0DTE 302s. I'm going to take Tesla. Filled at 254. Get out of some at 290. Nice little pop. Need a little more Tezzy. It's 288. Just missed me. There's 290 filled. Now let's see if Tezzy wants to go through highs. S&P, NASDAQ trying to bounce. AJ, that was Tesla calls off of previous day high here. Clear skies. That's what I like to see. There's new highs on Tezzy. I'll put another order to sell some at 350. Actually, let's go 335. Meta. Yeah, Meta, nice pop. We do have existing home sales reported here in about 20 seconds, but that's not a market mover. Typically. NVIDIA starting to bounce. AMD starting to bounce. IWM making another leg up. Hitting Friday's highs, IWM. Is that all-time highs? Tesla filled 135. IWM? No. Oh, yeah. No. 303.06 is IWM all-time high. That was on 8.5. Tezzy going pump. Pump it up. Put an order at $4. Yeah, active trader's a big plus on the day trading. Lando. Tesla, a little pullback back to pre-market high. Come on, Tezzy. Don't stop. Don't stop now. S&P, NASDAQ still pushing with the chips bouncing. Amazon, Google finally bouncing. Meta is taking off. Meta just sat there and chopped it unchanged for the first 22 minutes. Now it just took off like a rocket ship. Must be some news on Meta. Tessie, nice bounce off of pre-market high. I'm going to move my next target down to 380. Intel, yeah, Intel's moving. MU and AMD getting some legs. Tesla new highs. A little bit higher, and Tesla should hit my 380. Watson, is Tesla going to fill this daily gap today? The old 342 to 368 gap. Well, you better buy a Tesla if you're buying a new car then. AMD trying to go green. Tesla filled at 380. I've got, what do I have left? Two. Yeah, two Teslas left. SPX at 77.62, all-time high is 77.93.
Order filled. Order cancelled. Order filled.
My favorite stocks to trade, I would say, if I had to give you my top 6, it would be Tesla, SpaceX, Meta, Amazon, NVIDIA, PLTR, maybe hood or MSTR. And then I'll take trades in SPY and QQQ and IWM sometimes as well. I can't count today, Nat. I'm sorry. SMH almost up to highs of day. Yeah, don't try to watch this many stocks. I talk about that in the course quite a bit. It's like start with 3 or 5 or or 1. I mean, I know people who I know people who only trade Tesla. I know people who only trade Apple. I know people who only trade S&P. So yeah, don't feel like you need to mimic what I'm doing. And that's how I started. I started just looking at a handful, and then that just once I kind of got used to the layout of my charts, then I added another one, then I added another one, then I added another one, and so now it's if you're not used to it, yeah, this is could be super overwhelming. Russell pulling back to previous day high. Well, Annette's more disciplined than you and I, Watson, so that's not an issue for her. That's our issue. Let's be honest. Tesla ticking a new high. Yeah, I mean, and that is, I mean, that's a good point though. Like, you have to figure out what works for you. Like, for me, I think along those lines, it's like I like to look at a lot of different things. I like to kind of see how things are interacting with each other. How are the chips moving versus the Mag 7s versus the indices? All that kind of gives me a little bit of perspective or context relative, the whole relative strength and relative weakness thing. But again, like I said, that I know people who just trade one or two things and do it very well. Meta pausing finally at previous day high. Just got a couple little runners left in Tesla, but I want to give back as little as possible if we're done here, while still giving it a reasonable chance to give me more if it has more in it. S&P, NASDAQ kind of pausing. Russell kind of chopping between levels. SpaceX starting to get pretty bouncy. MU rolling back over. AMD holding. I've got 2 left. I'll put an order to sell another one at 420. Elon's favorite number. I worked at Microsoft yesterday. Or no, was it Microsoft? What did I take yesterday? Yeah, Microsoft. I'll be back in 1 minute. Tesla holding at highs, just not pushing anymore. IWM, another nice retest of previous day high and bounce. Had that one on had those options on my list, but I got into Tesla instead. MU going through lows. MU is just having a hard time the last few weeks, last month and a half. Ooh, Tezzy Pop. Another Tezzy Pop. Elon wants that 420. Come and get it. Filled 420. Johnny, one lot left. That was kind of a little pop and fade.
Order cancelled.
See what we do here. I may just close
Order
the last
filled.
one.
Order cancelled. Order filled.
I talked to him this morning, Dark Avenger. He is not happy right now. He's still rolling his puts. Not doing so hot, that guy. All right, I'm going to bail on my last Tesla. A little pop and fade. I don't like the looks of that. Filled on the last one at 345. Let's see what I got on Tesla. Plus 1,410. All right, all. I'm going to wrap the stream there. We will be back for Power Hour. Everybody have a good Tuesday. Talk to you soon.